Remember the promise? 5 years ago, the media and the tech giants told us a specific story. They said 5G wasn't just an upgrade, it was a revolution. We were promised self-driving cars, remote surgery, and smart cities that ran themselves. But look at your phone right now. You see that little 5G icon? Does your life feel revolutionized? Probably not. Your Instagram might load a split second faster, but you are mostly doing the exact same things you did 5 years ago. Here is the uncomfortable truth the telecom giants don't want to admit. They spent over $100 billion expecting a gold rush. Instead, they walked into a trap. Today, we explain why 5G is technically a miracle, but financially and practically, it might be the biggest failure in modern history. To understand this mess, we have to look at the adoption numbers. On paper, it looks successful. We have over 2 billion 5G connections globally. We adopted this tech 4 times faster than we adopted 4G. That is the question that keeps CEOs awake at night. They built the network, but they can't get you to pay more for it. Think about it. Are you willing to pay an extra $20 a month just for a slightly faster icon? No. You expect speed upgrades for free. So the carriers spent billions to build a new racetrack, but they aren't selling any more tickets. They are stuck in a deep financial hole, and they are passing that cost on to you. Why did this cost so much? It comes down to a simple physics problem. Old 4G signals used low-frequency radio waves. Think of them like the bass from a drum. The sound travels far and goes through walls easily. One big tower can cover a whole neighborhood. But the real 5G uses millimeter waves. These are incredibly fast, but incredibly fragile. A tree branch, a window, or even your hand blocking the antenna can kill the signal. Because these signals are so weak, companies had to build small cells everywhere, on lampposts, bus stops, and building corners. This is densification, and it's astronomically expensive. But there's a hidden cost for you too, your battery life. Because 5G signals are so finicky, your phone's modem is constantly working overtime. It's hunting for a 5G signal, jumping back to 4G when it fails, and cranking up the power to maintain a connection. You're paying for 5G speed not just with your wallet, but with your daily charge. Usually, technology follows a strict rule. As it gets better, it gets cheaper. But with 5G, the data pipe got wider and more efficient, meaning it actually cost the phone companies less to send you a gigabyte of data than it did on 4G. In a fair market, your bill should have dropped, but it hasn't. Why? Because the telecom companies have to pay back the massive loans they took out to buy the spectrum and build the towers. You aren't just paying for data, you are paying off their mortgage. The carriers had a backup plan. They thought factories and smart cities would pay huge money for private 5G networks. But businesses are practical. If a factory works fine on Wi-Fi or a wired cable, why spend millions on a 5G upgrade? Most of them said, no thanks. However, 5G did find one accidental success story: fixed wireless access. For the first time, 5G is actually competing with cable companies like Comcast. Millions are ditching their wired internet for a 5G box in their living room. It's the one area where 5G actually feels like a revolution. Not because it's high-tech, but because it's a cheaper alternative to the cable company we all hate. 5G isn't a failure of engineering, it's a miracle of physics. But it is a failure of marketing. Telecom companies spent a fortune chasing hype, assuming that if they built it, the money would follow. They upgraded the world's nervous system, but they forgot to ask if anyone was willing to pay for it. Now, we are all splitting the check, through high bills and shorter battery life. What do you think? Have you noticed any real benefit to 5G? Or have you disabled it just to save your battery? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching Limitless Tomorrow.